What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. So look, y'all, I'm gonna talk real to y'all on this channel today. So for a while, man, I remember when Nick first started not becoming Nick Cannon, but becoming Father Abraham, right? When he started procreating at a fast rate, a lot of women were disappointed in him. They were shocked. They were appalled because they always looked at Nick as this the stand-up dude who always was an honest individual. And let me add, he's honest with all these women that he's involved with, that he's procreating with. He's been honest with all of them, telling them the truth. He don't want a relationship. He don't want to get married. You know what I mean? They can do their thing. He'll, if they have a baby, if they have a baby with him, he'll take care of them, so on and so forth. But a lot of women thought Nick was better than this, and they are trying to find the root of this issue. Why is Nick Cannon procreating like he's trying to repopulate the earth? And so, some have said, Nick's lupus diagnosis has caused him to see his mortality or feel his mortality, and he wants to have a lot of children and leave a legacy behind before he leaves. But I think when you procreate at this rate, it's much more than that. It's much more than that. And I think it's deeper, and it goes to the level of this. Nick Cannon has been clowned and scrutinized his whole life for being a lame, being a corny dude, being a dude who was a cornball, by people in the hood, people that don't know him, by some of the biggest rappers and entertainers in the world. I've also clowned him as well for being a corny individual. I, for one, never understood it because Nick has always had pretty women on his arm, right? He's always been a dude that was about his money, always been a dude who was, stand-up type of dude. He was always a dude that seemed to be real chill and just a cool, down-to-earth brother. And people was calling him lame and corny because he wasn't with the hood shit, right? He wasn't a hood dude. He didn't claim to be a street dude. He was always about making people laugh, being funny, being quirky, whatever you want to call it. But he was with a lot of beautiful women in his lifetime, right? And so I did even married Mariah Carey for a minute. Was with Christina Milian and all of that. Nonetheless, women don't make the man, but I'm saying, I just didn't understand how could a dude be corny that's out here making money. The girl's like, he's making people laugh and all this and all that. But again, he was always clowned out. I remember when he was starring in Spike Lee's movie, Chirac, which depicted gun violence and gang violence in Chicago, Illinois, right? And I remember when it was an image of Nick Cannon holding a gun, and the gangbangers in Chicago was laughing their ass off, calling Nick a cornball. Ain't no way we watching this. Nick Cannon ain't selling me as no thug. He's a corny ass dude. So there's all this and all of that, right? And I was like, damn, this dude can't win for losing. He can make all this money. He can own Nick Jr. programming on Nick Jr. the Nick Jr. Program on Nickelodeon, and make all this money and do Wildin' Out, drive all this bread in, and people still gonna call him a lame and corny dude. And in the hood, y'all, what is the quickest way to uncornify yourself? I made up that word. Or unlame yourself in the status of hood dudes. When you get a lot of women, particularly when you get these women to have your baby, okay? Because in the hood, I don't know what it is. It's a badge of honor to have a lot of babies by a lot of different women. So much to the point, I saw it so much in the hood. I remember when I was a kid thinking that I wanted to have 10 kids by 5 different women because that's the shit I thought you were supposed to do, because I saw it in the hood all the time, right? And of course, as you get older, with tutelage from my parents, my father, my mom, I knew that shit wasn't for me at all. But I'm saying that's the self-destructive behavior that thrives in the hood, right? Dudes having a whole lot of babies by a lot of different women. They still be sleeping with the women, all this and all of that. So they get kudos. They get pats on the back. They get saluted for doing shit like that, for having babies by a lot of different pretty women. You still messing with them. They still love you to death. They still involved with you. They tatting their name on you. All that type of shit. So Nick is living a lifestyle that a lot of dudes in the hood praise. And so now he's not called corny like that by the men. Now the women may call him corny now, but the hood dudes ain't calling him corny no more. They saluting him for getting all these women by being with all these different women. And Nick been out here doing that for the longest of time. I don't know why. I don't know if people just didn't believe it or they didn't want to believe it, but when you have a kid with somebody, that's proof that you out here doing what they think you may be doing. You out here having sex, A kid is proof of that. Okay? And it says a lot about the type of dude you might be in these women's eyes if they're willing to have your seed. If they're willing to have your baby and they don't want to, they don't want to get rid of the child or whatever, that says a lot about you as a man. Oh my God, them women, they want to have his baby. These women is lining up to have his baby. Now, in the case of Nick Cannon, what woman wouldn't be lining up to have his baby? No, I'm not gonna say that because a lot of women don't want to sign up to that crazy circus that he got going on. But I'm saying a lot of women would want to have his baby because of the fact that he got millions and millions and mega millions of dollars. Okay, and they know it's a meal ticket for them. But I'm saying in the hood though, when you get a lot of women, that's that shit. They throw that corny shit out the window. They salute you. And you start getting a lot of praise. And in the hood, you only get praise for shit dysfunctional shit that we see that we think is honorable. Right? Now, getting a lot of women, that may not be dysfunctional, especially when you're a single man. But procreating with a whole lot of different women, whole lot of them, that can be seen as very dysfunctional. But yeah, when you get the things, I'm gonna say this: we idolize a lot of the wrong shit in the hood, the wrong things. We don't respect the man for being morally intact, for being a stand-up man, for being honorable, for being a man of his word, for being a dude that's genuinely a genuinely caring individual, empathetic person, just a stand-up man that do what he say he gonna do and just out to help others. You don't get praise for that in the hood, especially by a lot of other hood ass dudes. You don't, right? But when you can get women, and when you can get women to be enamored with you and be charmed with you, and they want to date you, they want to sleep with you, they want to be around you, they want to tap their name on you, they want to go out on dates with you, these dudes change their whole perception of you with the snap of a finger. I'm going to use me, for instance. When I was in school, I was a dude that people may call corny, right? I didn't think I was corny at all. But, I did all my homework. I got great grades. I came to class on time. I never been suspended from school. I never drank. I never smoked. I never was a street dude at all. I didn't gangbang. I just was a dude that liked sports. I wasn't the greatest at playing them, but I loved to watch them. I was a dude that liked pretty girls, right? And people was overlooking me, didn't really thought I was corny because I wasn't like them. I wasn't like the rest of their ass. I wasn't trying to be a street dude. I knew who I was and I was confident in who I am. I always been confident in that through the help of my mother and my father, right? The moment them dudes saw I could get girls, the moment them dudes saw that girls took a liking to me, oh man, you would have thought them dudes was my best friend from day one. Nice, oh, Malcolm, shaking my hand all the time. Malcolm, Mac Mills, Malcolm Miller, the lady killer, all that shit. You hear me? My name started to have a little bit more stock on it. Dudes that was at the top of the social hierarchy in high school, at the top of the totem pole, started to try to come reach down and pull me up with them, trying to be right with me, trying to be cool with me, trying to shake my hand, trying to talk to me, trying to kick it with me outside of school. Nah, motherfucker, stay the fuck over there, dog. I already got my homies, my day one circle that I've been had since I was a freshman in high school. I don't need no new motherfuckers coming in. A lot of y'all ain't even kicking it with me for real. I don't do the same stuff that y'all do. I don't smoke, I don't drink, I ain't trying to be straight. Y'all trying to be embracive to me now when at first I was a corny dude. At first I was a dude you would never even, if I was a dude that girls, if I was a dude that was, because I ended up running for prom king and winning. Before they knew I could get some girls, if I would have ran for prom king, they would have called me all type of corny and snuffed their nose up at me. So yeah, man, I see what's happening with Nick. Nick been called corny and scrutinized his whole life. And he felt like the only way probably to do this is to not be like this, is to deal with all these different women, get them pregnant, whatever, do all type of crazy stuff, live out a lot of men's fantasy. I'm going to say that. A lot of men want to do what Nick Cannon is doing. I gotta be honest with y'all. A lot of men want to be able to have a lot of relations with a whole lot of different women. They all know about it. They have kids with them. It is what it is, and ain't no type of backlash like that amongst the women. A lot of dudes want to live like that. A lot of dudes are living like that too. Some of them just don't want to be honest like that and are scared of the consequences and repercussions from doing that. But a lot of them can't live like that because they're not making enough money. Some men though can swindle women into living and doing this type of shit too. I've seen it firsthand, right? But yeah, man, a lot of men want to do that. And personally, if I was as rich as Nick Cannon, I probably would be single too, for sure. Now, I wouldn't be procreating like that. Hell no, because I love my money too much to be out just, dishing and doling in every single way, because he's taking care of all of them. They got his baby. You know what I'm saying? And some men want to do that, but I ain't procreating like crazy, but I would be out here doing my thing too if I had some bread like that. Not gonna lie to you, right? But a lot of men want to do exactly what Nick Cannon verbatim do. A lot of men want to do what Nick Cannon is doing verbatim. They want to have babies by a lot of different pretty women. They want to be able to do it with have babies with racially ambiguous women and march these mixed looking kids in to the family reunion and say, this my baby, this my daughter, this my daughter. You know what I'm saying? Then post them up on social media so the other girls can be like, oh, you got a pretty baby. And then they want to procreate with you too. So you get more women all having these pretty little babies or whatever. All that shit. A lot of men love that and desire that. I know dudes who only post their children to get kudos and get love from women on their social media page, right? Especially you got a pretty little baby. Oh my God, the women gonna swoon over your baby, and then they're gonna look at you as such a great father, even if you only get them once in a blue moon. You post them up, post them pictures, play a role. Oh my God, they're gonna look at you like the king. You got a pretty baby. Some of these, because some women love to see people, men in daddy mode. Some women do. And they see you taking care of that baby, loving on that baby in them pictures, and he may not even be a true indication of what's really happening. But as long as they see that image and they see you got a pretty baby, they're going like, oh my God, I want that for myself. I got to have that man. He there for his kids. And they go run to that man. And he be another victim. All right? So yeah, man, I just think Nick was so tired of being corny by even his peers. Peers and all that was calling him corny. And I don't know why the fuck they was looking. Again, Nick getting more money than a lot of these rappers would ever get in their lifetime. But I think the pressure of him being called corny in the hood, street dudes not really accepting him that certain way, street dudes in the industry snobbing their nose or, scoffing at him, I think that kind of caused him to be like, well, let me unlame myself. He never was a lame in my eyes, but let me unlame myself to these cool hood ass dudes. Let me uncornify myself amongst these street dudes in the industry. Let me do some shit they always wanted to do or desire to do. Let me live a life that they praised in the hood, and watch I become a dude who is looked up to. Watch me become a dude who is saluted. Watch me become a dude who gets pats on the back, high fives, handshakes, pounds and handshakes from these dudes. The same dudes that used to call me corny. Watch me make it happen. Now, me personally, I didn't give a fuck about the dudes that thought I was corny. I didn't ever care about mingling with them, getting the approval, getting acceptance. I didn't care. And I didn't care because of my upbringing and who I was raised by, my mom and my father. You know what I'm saying? I always was raised to know, you be a leader, not a follower. Fuck what somebody else talking about. A lot of these dudes can't stand on the same principles that we taught you and raised you with, right? Principles and values. Now, that don't mean I don't make mistakes, because I sure do, right? I've done some things that I'm not proud of, but majority of the time, a lot of my friends, family can tell you I've been a good man over these years. Done some shit I probably shouldn't have done at certain points. But yeah, man, I always did things that I wanted to do. And I never tried to do things to impress other people or gain approval or acceptance from certain crowds. But I think that's what Nick Cannon is doing, for real. I think he was seeking approval and acceptance from a lot of them hood dudes that always call him corny and lame. I just think about how not my homies, but how people on Facebook and social media was clowning Nick when he was in that Chirac movie holding that gun, telling him how he corny as hell. He don't even know how to hold a pipe right. A pipe is a gun, or a pole is a gun in Chicago. That's the nickname for guns in Chicago, pipes and poles. He don't even know how to hold the pipe right, the pole right. He a clown ass dude. And look what Nick is out here doing.